What's going on, guys? Sticks here with the Token Minorities, bringing you the battle for week 1 of, I think it's season 7 of the CPC, and this week we are up against Blitz and his Toronto Tyranitars, and I do apologize in advance that this is going to have to be a quicker team builder than normal. I am starting up finals week this week, and so I just kind of want to go ahead and get this video done so I can get back to studying, but nonetheless, if you guys enjoyed watching, please leave a like, drop a comment, click that subscribe button, helps us out a ton, and lets us do more cool stuff for you guys. But on to the team. Like I said, we are up against Blitz, and he has a team of Mega Venusaur, Salamence, Tornadus T, Toxapex, Arcanine, Florges, Registeel, Umbreon, Chinchino, Floatzel, and Rotom Frost. Now, you might be noticing he has absolutely no ground types and no electric immunities, and I have a Tapu Koko, so I'm definitely going to spam the crap out of that. Additionally, I have breakers for his team in Nidoking, Lycanroc, and Mega Medicham, which should be very, very good in this matchup. And then Skarmory is just kind of a coverall. I decided to just go all-out offense almost, just to try to put the pressure on him, because as long as that is the situation, then I should be able to win. The first mon I'm bringing is a Tapu Koko with Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, Dazzling Gleam, and Brave Bird with the Choice Scarf. I decided Choice Scarf over Specs just because I want that momentum and I want to get it early and be able to sustain it throughout the game. Mild in nature because I have Brave Bird for the Venusaur. Maybe I could go... I thought about going like Timid and not Brave Bird, but I want the ability to revenge the Venusaur if it is low enough. Volt Switch and Thunderbolt, because that's really what I'm going to be clicking 90% of the time, and Dazzling Gleam in case I need a stronger hit, unlike the Umbreon or the Salamence. The speed is enough to creep Chinchino, speed creeping my Lycanroc, and I threw a little in there just in case. Next up, we have a Skarmory. This is just a safety goggles. This is my switch into his Mega Venusaur Spadef Skarm that can also take hits from like Tornadus and Rotom, Florges, really just his special attackers, and also is my answer to Salamence as a special. Inferno Overdrive is not a one-hit KO. Whirlwind, Roost, Taunt, and Brave Bird cover his team nicely, and safety goggles is, even though I don't think he's going to be bringing Sleep Powder because I do have the electric terrain, but just a coverall switch in because Mega Venusaur is annoying for me to deal with. Just max Spadef to take hits as well as possible. Next up, we have a Life Orb Modest Nidoking with Stealth Rock, Earth Power, Sludge Wave, and Taunt. And this one just breaks his team really, really hard. Beats the Venusaur 1v1, which is really nice. Taunt prevents it from leech seeding or synthesizing up, that type of thing. Earth Power and Sludge Wave is really all I need against him, and Stealth Rock pressures his team very, very nicely, puts stuff in range of my Lycanroc, my Raichu, my Tapu Koko, all of those really powerful mons in this matchup. The speed is just enough to speed creep like I believe it was like a 20 speed Arcanine was what I was going for, like a bulky Arcanine, because I think that's what he's going to bring. Next up, we have a Lycanroc Dusk with Accelerock, Stone Edge, Brick Break, and Zen Headbutt with the Life Orb, and I'm super, super bulky because I really don't need the speed in this matchup. Like, I'm not outspeeding Salamence, but I'm going to be hitting with that thing. I'm going to be hitting that thing with an Accelerock anyway. Arcanine, I will just be Stone Edging that, and it's more than likely going to be bulky, so I really don't need the speed in this particular matchup. Adamant's just to hit as hard as possible. Brick Break and Zen Headbutt cover his team nicely. I thought about Drill Run, but Drill Run would be more for a Life Orb set, whereas Brick Break allows me to switch up moves, like if Umbreon comes in, or Umbreon or Registeel come in on a Stone Edge, then I can just Brick Break those guys very easily. And then Zen Headbutt is obviously for the Mega Venusaur. Next up is the Raichu, and also the speed is for... what was I outspeeding? I think I was outspeeding a Modest Rotom was what I was going for with this speed creep. Next up, we have my Alolan Raichu with Nasty Plot, Thunderbolt, Psychic, and Focus Blast. Again, a very, very bulky set with the ability to get a Nasty Plot on multiple things and then just run through his team, because the coverage that I have on this Raichu demolishes him under electric terrain, and the bulk allows me to take just the random priority hits that he might have on his team. Fighting Z with the Focus Blast for the Registeel and the Umbreon, mainly just to be able to Nasty Plot up and take those things out quickly. The speed is enough to guaranteed take out, or I believe it's Scarf Chinchino was what I was going for. Also just Modest Rotom, much like the Lycanroc. I think I outsped Scarf Chinchino with like 260 something and then just went for the Modest Rotom. And finally, we have Mega Medicham with it's an Adamant Nature, Fake Out, Bullet Punch, Zen Headbutt, and Drain Punch. Again, this thing does not have any switch-ins on his team. I mean, even Arcanine is 2-hit KO'd if I don't get or if I don't get low rolled, then Arcanine can be 2-hit KO'd by Zen Headbutt. That's how strong Mega Medicham is. Fake Out, Bullet Punch just for priority against his team, and then Dual Stab. I opted for Drain Punch over High Jump Kick just because I thought that the HP recovery would be particularly nice in this matchup because of Mega Medi being able to be a little bit bulkier, and then also able to take the hits from, also able to recover up HP against mons like Registeel and Umbreon that he might be trying to sack off. The HP, or the speed, is just enough to outspeed I believe it's a Salamence speed creeping a modest, or a timid Nidoking. That's what I opted for there, and then just threw the rest into HP. But anyway, that is the team, and let's just go ahead and hop right on over to the battle. Alrighty, here we are in the battle, and the first thing I'm noticing is no Registeel, so that is fantastic for my Mega Medicham. Like, that was one of the only things really stopping it. Same with my Lycanroc, and yeah, Electric is just looking so spammable if I'm able to get rid of the Venusaur. Unfortunately, he did bring the Floatzel, which is going to be relatively annoying to deal with, but it shouldn't be too big of an issue as long as I keep my mons healthy, because I do have a decent amount of bulk in, like, my Raichu, Medicham, even Lycanroc to a lesser extent, but I mean, like, a Aqua Jet is still going to do a ton of damage. But because he does not have any electric immunity, I'm going to go ahead and lead off with my Koko, Volt Switch out, and see how this goes. So I'm going to lead off with my Koko, like I said, as he leads off with his Floatzel, and this is amazing for me because unless he wants to lose his Floatzel turn 1, I'm immediately going to be able to get some initiative as he goes into his Florges, and I'm just seeing this as a perfect opportunity to immediately get up my rocks with my Nidoking. Like, I could go ahead and Sledge Wave, try to take something out, but rocks are a little bit more important in this game for wearing down, like the Tornadus, getting the Arcanine in Medicham range, all of that good stuff. As he goes into his Rotom, I don't want to take a Blizzard, don't want my Nidoking to go down early, as he does reveal to be a timid Rotom, as Blizzard does not even a 2-hit KO against my Skarm, and I'm just going to roost off that damage. He goes into his Florges, and here's where I make a bit of a misplay. I should have immediately gone into Nidoking. I have no speed on my Skarmory at all, so I should have known that I wouldn't be able to outspeed the Florges, but I was thinking, I don't know, maybe he's running like a minus speed nature or something like that, but no, he does get the defog off, and I was like, crap, should have just gone into Nidoking. I could have gotten rocks back up or pressured something with Sledge Wave, as he does get me on this double as he goes back into his Rotom. And now, thinking that I've shown that Skarmory is my initial switch in and it does not get 2-hit KO'd by Blizzard, I'm thinking he'll go for an electric move, because I mean, he has literally no reason to click Blizzard again. I mean, I guess unless he wants to like stay in on my Nidoking. Just basically, I showed that I'm not going to risk Nidoking, so I'm going to go on my Tapu Koko as he actually ends up connecting his second Blizzard of the game, and I'm like, huh, well, that's unfortunate, but now I'm going to be able to get momentum once again. If he decides to stay in with Rotom, I can just go straight into my Skarmory as he goes in his Florges once again, and I'm going to rinse and repeat, going straight back into my Nidoking, and I will be able to get my rocks back up as once again he goes into his Rotom. Now I'm kind of at an impasse. I'm like, okay, like unfortunately I really wanted to stay in because, I mean, okay, he's either due to miss a Blizzard or he's going to go for an electric move at this point. Either way, I didn't want to sack my Nidoking just yet because it's great for breaking his team. It's always going to switch into Florges, and at this point, with rocks up, I will be getting a kill whenever Florges comes in. So I'm going to go into my Skarm as he makes a good play, goes for Volt Switch. That doesn't even do a whole lot. So I mean, that even shows me that, dang, I should have just stayed in with my Tapu Koko, or I should have just stayed in with my Skarm earlier on the... Or I should have just gone directly into Skarm, sorry. Should have gone directly into Skarm when he had Rotom in on my Nidoking earlier, so Tapu Koko wouldn't have had to take that damage. But he does get the switch into his Tornadus, and luckily I do have a bulky offensive Lycanroc that is just a free switch in. Heat Wave does not a whole lot, and so I will just be free to fire off an Accelerock. It will get me heavy damage on something or potentially knock something out. Goes into his Venusaur as a Accelerock. Unfortunately, doesn't look like into Zen Headbutt it will knock out a Venusaur, so I'm not going to bother risking it. Just going to go straight into my Nidoking. I can take whatever hit he wants to go for. I don't think he'll have Sleep Powder on against an electric terrain team, as he just goes for the Synthesis, and now I'm going to taunt the Venusaur, prevent it from Leech Seeding or Sleep Powdering, as he does reveal to have the Leech Seed, and now I'm just going to try to 2-hit KO that thing with a Sledge Wave. He goes for the Giga Drain, and that does... It does a decent chunk, but the Sledge Wave reveals that he is not very defensive with his Venusaur, and I will be able to just knock that thing out. He can't switch anything in at all, because anything that comes in will just easily get knocked out by my Nidoking at this point. So yeah, Venusaur is going to go down. Unfortunately, this does give him a free switch into Floatzel, and not sure what I want to sack. I'm thinking that Skarmory, because the Venusaur is down, is going to be the most expendable as he goes for the Liquidation. But what that does mean with his Floatzel in and going for Liquidation, I'm just able to go into my Mega Medicham and just start firing off hits. Like even a max defensive Mega Arcanine, wow. A max defensive Arcanine, it's very in my, or not very in my favor, it's significantly in my favor to 2-hit KO that thing. I'm going to go for the Drain Punch into a Zen Headbutt, and unfortunately does not KO it. Literally, had I gotten anything except for like the bottom 5 rolls, I think, with Drain Punch, I would have had a very good chance to knock him out with Zen Headbutt, but that does not happen as he is able to Morning Sun up twice, and I have to bring in my Lycanroc after taking 2 hits of Rocky Helmet. So just going to go for the Stone Edge right here, knock something out. I mean, Floor just comes in, it's down, so now Nidoking really doesn't have a whole lot of purpose in this game other than a sack. And he goes into his Floatzel, and I'm thinking I can get some decent damage off with an Accelerock, but nope, he just goes straight for the Aqua Jet, and now I'm in a position where it's like, okay, well, I can just go into my Raichu. He's 100% Choice Banded, like I definitely think you'd be Choice Banded in this situation, and I can go into my Raichu, take the Banded Aqua Jet easily, and knock something out. So I wanted to click my Z move. I wanted to click my Z move just to knock something out, just to guaranteed knock something out. But I thought maybe he'll like go Torn, sack it off. But I, again, wanted to click it, but decided that, you know what, I can take whatever hit Rotom wants to go for very easily because of my bulk, and I still will be out of range of things like uninvested Extreme Speed from Arcanine. So I will be in a very good position if I do just go for a Thunderbolt. And also Rotom will have to risk Blizzard, which is already hit twice. It's a very low chance that he's going to be able to... Actually, it's significantly in my favor, rather, to have him miss one of his Blizzards. So now I'm just going to stay in, click my Z move as he hits, and he frickin' freezes me. Like, that was gigantic. Not only did he hit, but he froze me. And, oh, like, Rotom would have been dead. No matter what he went into, I had plays, like, basically I had the sacks to win the game. He did not have, like, from this position, with Rotom knocked out, he could have gone into Arcanine and Revenge Killed me with Extreme Speed, could have gone into Floatzel, Revenge with Aqua Jet, or could have gone into Torn and Revenge Killed with U-Turn. But unfortunately, like, I'll actually explain, I'll walk through all of the possible options and how I would have been able to win in each of them at the end of the game. But yeah, a little bit of spoilers, that freeze, I'm not going to thaw, and he actually is going to hit Blizzard, so he literally went 4 for 4 on Blizzards, which has a 24% chance of happening. And yeah, basically, I'm just screwed at this point. Like, I'm going to my Mega Medicham. I have to click Bullet Punch to try to knock this Rotom out, as a Blizzard will be able to kill me. He gets to go into his Arcanine, and yeah, just like, I don't have the sacks to win the game because Tapu Koko did take the damage early. Like, it was on me, because if Tapu Koko didn't take that damage, then I would actually be in a position to win the game because I could just T-Bolt my way through his team. But as you will see, Tapu Koko did take that hit. Extreme Speed will be able to knock me out, and yeah, I'm going to lose this game. So let's go back to the turn with Raichu in. I mean, you're going to see that I end up actually critting a Drain Punch, which is like, oh, well, that's kind of cool, whatever. But I mean, had the Arcanine, had I not got low rolled earlier, Arcanine would be dead, but that's beside the point. And he's going to go into Floatzel and be able to KO me with the Liquidation. So let's go back to the turn where Raichu got frozen against Rotom. So first of all, I was thinking that he wouldn't want to sack Rotom because it's the only thing that kept him from losing a Mon every single time one of my electric types was in, and I could just click T-Bolt. But I mean, whatever. Worked out for him, I guess, and now I'm in this position. So if he had he not froze me, I would have been able to knock out the Rotom. So first of all, had he not even hit the Blizzard, which again, significantly in my favor for him not to hit every single Blizzard that he did, then I would have been able to just easily win the game, like no questions asked. But at this point, because he hit, had I knocked out the Rotom, he would have gone into, okay, let's walk through the 3 Mons that he could have gone into. If he goes into Arcanine or goes into his Floatzel, then I have pretty easy counterplay. Like, if he goes into Floatzel, he has to lock into a move because he is Choice Banded. Like, had he gone into Floatzel and knocked me out with Liquidation, go into Tapu Koko, click Thunderbolt, claim my kill, easy. Or I could even just go for Volt Switch at that point if I felt like it, because it still would have killed the Floatzel and would have given me initiative otherwise. Had he gone into Arcanine, I go into my Nidoking after, which outspeeds, is able to kill something with Sludge Bomb, and then the combination of Koko, Medi, and Nidoking is able to win the game, is like after I knock out, like say, if he sacks Floatzel, then that's essentially just GG, because then Tapu Koko is able to get a kill on the Torn, and Nidoking's able to, or Mega Medi's able to clean up on like the Nidoking or whatever, or on the Arcanine or whatever. So yeah, Floatzel, if he goes for Liquidation, kill with Tapu Koko. If he goes for Aqua Jet, then I can just go into my Medi and 2-hit KO something at this point with like, I would just go for a straight Zen Headbutt to knock out the Arcanine, easy peasy. Goes into Arcanine, kills me, I go Nidoking, get a kill, and then Koko and Medi are able to take the game. He goes into Torn, he is not going to risk like a Heat Wave or a Hurricane or something. I just go into my Nidoking, and if he kills me off, well, I get a kill with Tapu Koko, and I still have my Raichu alive, which is the key point in this situation. Like, Raichu would still be alive at this point. So, like, had I hit the Rotom, like, okay, you guys can just tune out now, because this is just me explaining how I would have won without the hacks, and I'm getting pretty salty about this, but I'm just being real here. But so, okay, Rotom is dead, all right? He goes into Torn, I go into Nidoking, I still have Tapu Koko, Raichu, that's what it's called, and Mega Medi. If he goes into Torn, I U-turn, and he U-turns into his, like his Floatzel. Well, then Floatzel has to lock in, rinse and repeat. With these other three, I'm able to get my kill. If he decides to knock me out with like a Heat Wave, I go into Tapu Koko, get my, after he kills my Arcanine, or after he kills my Nidoking, kill the Torn, and then it is 2 versus 3. He cannot lock into any one move that will win him the game. So really, no matter what, at this point, like, I had the game won, but unfortunately, he not only freezes me, he hits all 4 of his Blizzards, and yeah, it's just like this game was just very, very frustrating to play, from like the low roll that I got on the Arcanine to where I couldn't kill it early on, to the situation where Rotom hit all 4 Blizzards, to then the freeze on my Raichu where he not only hit the Blizzard, but he froze me. So yeah, that's no two words about it. That's just insanely frustrating to have to deal with in the first game of the season. Like, I felt good, felt like I had a really good game plan, and had the hacks not gone so ridiculously in his favor, then I would have had the win. But start the season off 0-1, got to bounce back next week, and hope you guys enjoyed my saltiness. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and this is Styx, signing out. Why not? See you guys.